Since I appeared on your glowing screens, I've tried to cajole you softly into a new way of looking at things. When I was a young lad, from birth to 30 years old, I was protected and nurtured and shaped and formed by many people who saw me as something that I could be made into, to serve. And I don't need those anymore. And I wanted to please, as most children do. So I followed that path. But there is a part of me which these powers that be appreciated that wouldn't let me be the status quo. Without any real power of my own, I had to follow a path. And that path has brought me here. As I said in my earlier days, I was formed, but not in a cookie-cutter manner. For time and fate laid out this path. It was like Dorothy going to Oz on the yellow brick road. I have been around power, prestige, my whole life. But I've never stepped into the spotlight. For my path was always that of a pebble in the pond, to be the ripples. So this story I tell now is a fable that goes from my birth to my present time. And it'll take a number of cuts, just like my novels. So as I said, when I was born, I was privileged and blessed to be surrounded by powerful, brilliant people who cared for me as a resource in their eyes to be formed into a figure of their own creation. And I was, from the beginning, surrounded by digital demigods. Even though I was born in the early 50s, that most people would connect with the analog world. But we have been surrounded by the digital domain all of our existence, all of our history. For our DNA is a digital code of the swirling helix. I have lived the life of Job, given great gifts and given great responsibilities and given great obstacles. My phone is a good example. Ever since I've started to attempt to have my own YouTube channel, my phone has become difficult. And I have a friend who has a smartphone repair business, and he has a young man who is like a savant with software, and especially Android software. And he took a look at my phone, and he said that he couldn't understand because it looked like it was schizophrenic. It looked like it had one side that was trying to tear the operating system apart and another side that was at the same time repairing it. And that is like us all. Ever since I started a few months ago on John Birmingham's Clown Channel, I was his guest appearance that got more following than he had, except for his YouTube on how to light the pilot light of your hot water, or how to change a tire, or him being Ronald McDonald. Everything else was basically kind of ignored. Because, as I continually say, John is like the canary in the social coal mine. And those first videos, I used John, as I kept saying, we were like Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. And John, I didn't script him, but he had an uncanny ability to interrupt, distract, but at the same time, just like my cell phone, put a dynamic of, well, I'm being distracted from this right at the moment where I should be looking at what it is. Thus, within you, the observer, your subconscious is being focused even deeper on the issue at hand. And that issue at hand is that we are entering a new time. I was employed in the 90s and early O's to investigate things that most people don't investigate, to look at things in a way that most people don't look at them. I was tasked to look at trends, very long term and very short term, and how they combined synchronistically to show what we were going through in a way that most people cannot see in the face value of it, but are only patterned or given the information on a super subconscious way. And I am trying to bring you, the audience, into a connection between your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, your superconscious mind, and the sanctuary where God, which is love, exists inside of you. Because only with that harmony of all of that will we be able to, as a society, become our potential. We are still infants. We have not generated enough wisdom and power of knowledge of love, creation, to go forth. And that's why we are stuck on this little rock, even though it is beautiful, even though it is a Garden of Eden. We are being, through our egos, to destroy it, and with that, ourselves. But it is a horse race between our ability to overcome our child's fear and anxiety and frustration, and marrying it to the service of love's co-creation in a way that will transform us, that will allow us to ascend to our higher self. So it's about 4 a.m., middle of the night, and I just woke up needing to say this. Do we have the courage to be our better selves? My next stories will be on this. I look forward to telling them to you. I look forward to you appreciating them and listening.